Top 10 African countries with the best Air Force. Hello explorers, welcome back to another informative video and thanks for watching. In this video we will be bringing you the top 10 countries with the best Air Force. Many nations maintain their immense military powers with the help of numerous armaments such as fighter jets, nuclear devices and armored vehicles. So one tends to ask which country holds the spot for the best Air Force in Africa. In this list, we highlight the top most powerful Air Force in Africa. We talk a little about what makes them tick, the personnel strength, aircraft fleet, budget, as well as highlight a few missions that they have undertaken, by which they might have earned themselves some reputation as air forces to reckon with on the continent and beyond. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. Without wasting further time, in no particular order, here are the top best air forces in Africa. Number 10. Ethiopian Air Force. This is one of the most experienced air forces on this list of the strongest air forces in Africa. The recent war with Eritrea has given the Ethiopian Air Force sufficient combat experience in the air to ground and air-to-air maneuvers. They have a total of 80 functional aircraft, and of that number, 48 are classified as attack aircrafts. In the year 2012, Ethiopia spent $340 million on defense, and that figure amounts to 0.8% of her gross domestic product. Their main attack force is 48 aircraft strong and comprises of Su-25 Frankfurt-S and MiG-21 and also MiG-23 with Su-27S also available. The Ethiopian Air Force has been involved in the following engagements: the Ethiopian Civil War, Ethiopian Somali War, Ethiopian Eritrean War. Number 9. Tunisian Air Force. Within and beyond North Africa, Tunisia possesses one of the best air forces. The country has strengthened its air force with quite a number of UAVs and aircrafts. Besides that, the country has more sophisticated armament in its arsenal. Tunisia's air force is best known for its vibrant operations aimed at safeguarding the country's internal and external territories. Transport aircraft in their fleet are 89 units, while 40 other aircrafts are used for training and retaining personnel. The Tunisian Air Force has a personal strength of 3,000 persons in service. Tunisia spent $746 million on defense in the year 2012, and that figure amounted to 3% of their total gross domestic product. Number 8. Nigerian Air Force. The Nigerian Air Force has a shadow of human rights violations but also has very good troop motivation and welfare to boast of. They have about 110 aircraft in their fleet, and 31 of these are classified as attack aircrafts. There are 53 transport aircrafts in the Nigerian Air Force. 40 aircraft serve for training and retaining of personnel. The Nigerian Air Force has 25,000 active personnel on its payroll. The Nigerian Air Force has undertaken the following engagements: Nigerian Civil War, the Liberian Civil War, Sierra Leone Civil War, and the Niger Delta conflict. They were involved in the Northern Mali War and are currently involved in the Boko Haram War. It is always fascinating to find out the position Nigeria holds among Africa's best air forces. Number 7. Ugandan Air Force. The Ugandan Air Force comes next on our list with a reputation of having acquired some fearsome killing machines in recent years. They have 53 aircrafts, and 23 of these are classified as attack aircrafts, 21 helicopters, and they include Bell 206, Huey 2nd, Mi-24, Mi-17. They have a few transport units, 52 in number, while they have 10 aircrafts being used for personnel training and retaining. There are 50,000 active personnel in the Ugandan Air Force, making it a very robust air force indeed. Their main attacking force comprises of Russian-made MiG-21 and Sukhoi Su-30 fighter jets. Number 6. Angolan Air Force. The Angolan Air Force is a regional power which threatens to overshadow much more popular air forces around Africa. Angola has been a long-standing ally of Russia and Cuba, and so it should be no surprise when you see Russian names in its fleet. There are 348 aircrafts in the Angolan Air Force, and 138 of these are classified as attack aircrafts. The Angolan Air Force has 128 aircraft in the transport division and 48 aircrafts which serve for training and retaining of personnel. Angola spent $3.8 billion for defense in the year 2012, and that figure amounts to 3.5% of their total gross domestic product. Number 5. Sudanese Air Force. Unfortunately, much of the required information is withheld by the Sudanese authorities, but for the fact that Sudan already have in their fleet a lot of monster machines and the fact that many even more powerful weapons of death are about to be introduced, the Sudanese Air Force makes the top 10. They have 246 operational aircraft in their fleet, and 138 of them are classified as attack aircrafts. They have 52 transport aircrafts as well as 12 aircrafts used for training and retaining of personnel. They have been very recently active in the Darfur War, War in Yemen, Sudanese Civil War. Number 4. Moroccan Air Force. They are one of Africa's most prepared air forces. They are focused on the defense of their territory rather than attack, and it is for this reason that their F-16 fighter jets are specially configured for long-range combat. Morocco spent $3.5 billion on defense in the year 2012, and that figure amounted to 3.5% of their total gross domestic product. They have been tested and marked as capable in the following engagements: the Sand War, Six-Day War, Yom Kippur War, Western Sahara War, Anti-ISIS War, and the war in Yemen. As you can see from the engagements above, Morocco is an ally of America. Number 3. South African Air Force. The South African Air Force is one of the oldest air forces of the continent. Having been founded in 1920, the South African Air Force has 226 aircraft in its fleet, and 47 of them classified as attack crafts, the majority being SAAB JAS 39 Gripen, while there are also British-made BAE Hawks in their fleet. The South African Air Force has 11,000 active personnel, as well as 1,000 reserve men on standby. It is worthy of mention that the SA Air Force boasts one of the best fighter training routines and has laudable combat experience. They have proven themselves in combat, having been involved in the following engagements: World War I, World War II, Korean War, Rhodesian Bush War, Mozambican War, South African Border War, as well as the M23 Rebellion and the ADF insurgency. Number 2. Algerian Air Force. It is worthy of mention that the Algerian Air Force has over the years increased its capabilities by acquiring many fighter jets as well as surface-to-air missile systems to secure the skies. Their strengths include modern aerial equipment including fighter jets and transport aircraft. They have a robust defense budget as well as a high aircraft maintenance culture. The Algerian Air Force has a total of 502 aircraft, and 187 of these numbers are categorized as fighter or attack aircraft. They have 226 aircraft in the transport division, 68 aircraft in the training department, and 257 units of helicopters serving various uses. They have tested action in the following engagements: Algerian War, FFS Rebellion, Sand War, October War, as well as insurgency in the Maghreb. None of these are considered major wars. Number 1. Egyptian Air Force. The Egyptian Air Force ranks at the first position on this list, not only because of the sheer size of their fleet, but also for the following reasons. They have quality fighter jets in their fleet. They also have sufficient numbers of both aircraft and personnel, combat experience to boast of, and to overall potential aggressors. The Egyptian Air Force has about 1,200 aircraft in their fleet, and 764 of these are classified as combat aircrafts. In the transport department, they have 266 aircrafts. In the training department, they have 384 aircrafts. The Egyptian Air Force has 30,000 active servicemen and another 20,000 in reserve, bringing their total personnel strength to 50,000. They have proven themselves in combat with the following engagements: 1948 Arab-Israeli War, Suez Crisis, North Yemen Civil War, Nigerian Civil War, Libyan-Egyptian Civil War, to name a few. There you have it, explorers. Those were the top 10 African countries with the best air force. Thanks for watching this video. If you want us to cover any of your top 10 topics, leave your suggestions in the comments and your request will be granted. Also, do not forget to subscribe and share with your friends.